people? Welcome back to Albert J TV Football Topics time. Just thought I'd do a quick video content on this. Yeah, guys, firstly, thank you for those of you that came along and joined me on my live watch along yesterday for the Belgium versus England game in the Nations League. Those of you would have seen on my Twitter activity, I was not happy with the team lineup. I've voiced that very clearly. And I think for me, with Southgate, I've got to the point, personally speaking, as someone that's watched England since, late-ish 80s, early 90s, when I first started sort of taking notice of them. I just think people have had their rumblings about Southgate for a long time. But for me yesterday, when I saw that team line up, I thought, for a game you've got to win, 3 centre-backs, the team lineup, Dyer, Walker in the back 3, Henderson, Rice in the middle. I didn't get it. And you know what? People know I love Jack Grealish. You know, he's a Villa player. Love him at Arsenal like many other Arsenal fans would do. But there's part of me even thinks, drop in the comments below, like, if Sterling wasn't injured, do you think Grealish would have played? And the only reason why I say that is because obviously Grealish had that brilliant game against Wales. People thought, the opposition. And then the next game, Jack Grealish didn't even feature, which is mind-boggling. And obviously he played yesterday. But Gareth Southgate's got mad faith in Mason Mount. But that's another topic anyway. As you probably would have seen with the thumbnail, I want to talk about 2 players in particular. Before I get into that, guys, hit the like button straight away if you're watching this content now. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and get me on my social media. Link is in the description for my Instagram and Twitter. So yes, 2 players I want to talk about in particular, as you guys will be aware of. Just trying to get my screen up on. An obvious standout candidate yesterday was Lord Jack Grealish. This guy, man. Where do I start? You know what it is? When I remember Jack Grealish very well from his first stint in the Premier League under Tim Sherwood, when Tim Sherwood had the Villa job. And you saw the talent back then for Jack Grealish, and that's quite a fair few years ago. I think he had an opportunity to leave Villa. Probably one notable time was when Tottenham were rumoured with him, and I don't know what happened with the deal, but Tottenham missed out there big time. And then, Jack Grealish isn't a secret, and he shouldn't be to a lot of people that enjoy football, generally speaking, as opposed to just having, your colours nailed to the mast for the team you support. But Jack Grealish is outstanding, man. And he proved it last season to hit double figures for goals, I believe, in a team that was facing relegation until the last day of the season, more or less. It's phenomenal. And, that guy probably, you would arguably say, kept Villa up single-handedly. Brilliant goals, great ball carrier. Like Roy Keane said yesterday on the highlights on ITV, he's a lot quicker across the ground than you think he is. And you can see it really from the screens, but I guess when you see him live, it's a different story. But great ball carrier, takes care of the ball. And for those of you that haven't seen Jack Grealish play much, there's obviously the stat flying around that he gets fouled the most in the Premier League. And you know what? I think yesterday was the evidence of that more so than anything, because the Denier, Vertonghen, Alderweireld, it was clattering him. He got fouled. The amount of times he got fouled to say Jack Grealish is insane. He always likes to receive the ball, like I like to see with my attacking players in the midfield area particularly. Always wants to receive the ball in tight spaces. Was unlucky not to score yesterday, actually, when I think Kieran Trippier put a ball in from the right, and his shot got blocked by, I think it was Alderweireld that blocked it in the first half. But Jack Grealish was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Every time he got the ball, he was a danger. Every time he got the ball in wide areas, he was a danger. Like I said, unlucky not to score. And we obviously heard the reports today that Gilberto Silva, our ex-Arsenal legend, was saying that Arsenal need to go basic and break the bank for this guy, Jack Grealish. But here's my problem. What I found quite strange actually last week was that I can't remember where I saw it, but a lot of you guys would have seen it, where it broke that obviously Arsenal were interested in Jack Grealish. But for me, I don't understand the timing of that, because if anybody remembers correctly, and I remember seeing it at the time on Sky Sports with Dharmesh Chef, when he was saying that a number of clubs, including Arsenal, had inquired about Jack Grealish. Not a bid, not nothing concrete. Arsenal had inquired about him. So that was during the transfer window. So that wasn't a secret. So I was a bit confused as to why that sort of came out now. I don't know, was that to wind up Arsenal fans? I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't really a secret. So I was quite surprised that sort of came out, because like, well, most Arsenal fans who follow transfer activity will have already known that. So who knows? Maybe they put that out there to wind up Arsenal fans because Jack Grealish is so good. But what an outstanding footballer. I see people talking about he's probably the best thing since in an England shirt since Gaza. And that's high praise, man. And I wouldn't argue against that. I wouldn't argue against that at all. Just an excellent footballer. I mean, I said it before that even if Villa had gone down last season, I think Arsenal would have been in the back of the queue to even get a chance of getting this guy. The best time to get Jack Grealish would have been the end of last season, irrespective of Villa stayed up or not, because he didn't sign the 5-year contract. And I think the main reason why Villa offered that really is because if they are ever going to sell him now, the club that's going to have to want to buy him is going to have to pay a king's ransom. I think if Villa had gone down, I think United would have got him. And I said to one of my Arsenal mates that, and I said this generally speaking, and obviously I'd love Jack Grealish at Arsenal, but I was saying to him that, to me, if there's one club that should be looking at Jack Grealish, well, there should be a few clubs, but if there's one Premier League club in particular, I actually said Man City. People will go, yeah, but they've got De Bruyne, but De Bruyne's in the prime of his career. He's not over the hill, obviously, at 29. But I think I think Man City really, really actually should have looked at him personally. And for me, he would be good enough to be in that team. Most teams in the Premier League, I think he'd get into, to be honest with you. Fabulous footballer. And was outstanding yesterday. The less said about the England lineup yesterday, I said all I need to say about that in my live stream yesterday. So guys, thanks to you guys for tuning in to watch that. Yeah, I was annoyed by that England team, and I'll be honest with you. And yeah, let me come on to our beloved, our main man at the moment, Mr. Bakayo Saka. This boy, man, man of the match performance in the last England international against Ireland. The guy is Mr. Versatile in a good way. And when I say in a good way, because some people can be utility players or versatile, but you know, they might not be effective in a position as they'll be in a more favoured position, if that makes sense. But with Saka, left wing back, left wing, right of a free, left of a front three, outstanding footballer. Double assist for last season for Arsenal. Man of the match performance for England against Ireland. Comes on yesterday for Ben Chilwell. Oh, let me get that back off the screen. Comes on yesterday for Ben Chilwell. Comes off an injury in the first half. Saka was excellent. I thought he was giving them problems down the left-hand side. He's interchange play with Jack Grealish. I thought was excellent against Ireland, and I thought it was good again yesterday. Got himself into some dangerous positions. If Kane had actually used the eyes in the back of his head, he could have laid in Saka. I think Saka had a chance to score. For a kid who's only 19 and to burst on the scene the way he has been phenomenal. I actually would go as far to say as he doesn't get, for me, enough credit as some of the other England youngsters that are in the public domain, i.e. a Foden, a Greenwood. I think people acknowledge that Saka's a quality player, but I don't think he gets it enough credit. And that's the biggest compliment I can pay him. I think going forward for England, and it's hard because obviously Southgate's in charge of England, or Sidegate, whatever people want to call him. I think looking at it, I think ideally, if England are going to play three at the back, Saka would probably get into that team at left wing back. I think with the players that they want back in England, I think long-term future wise for Saka, I think ideally, that would be where he would fit in for England. But let's be honest, playing at left wing back, he's been excellent. So very, very happy. Apart from a nervous, 10, 15 minutes in his debut for England. Other than that, I think he's been faultless. What a player. I'm looking forward to seeing him back in an Arsenal shirt. For me, at Arsenal, he's the first name on the team sheet. Yes, you want to be careful with him because he's young and you don't want to pin your hopes on a 19-year-old kid, but he does need to be in the team. How Arteta actually uses him going forward for the rest of the season is entirely up to him. But Bakayo Saka has been absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, I want to big up the two players, man. Jack Grealish. Love Jack Grealish. Lord Grealish. Oh, I would love him at Arsenal. Do I think it's going to happen? Maybe if pigs fly. But I don't think it will, man. Honestly, anything's possible in football. But like Jimmy Greaves said, football's a funny old game. But I don't think it's that funny, man. I think that ship has sailed a bit for Grealish. But who knows? But Bakayo Saka, Jack Grealish. If I had a hat, I'll tip it off to you. But guys, yeah, drop in the comments down below. Do you agree with what I said about Jack Grealish for England and Arsenal? And I must admit, that bit of skill when he flicked it past Meunier, different class, man. Gazza would have been crying in his seat, worshipping that kind of play. But yeah, drop in the comments down below what you make of the content, talking about Bakayo Saka and Jack Grealish, outstanding performances for England yesterday. Looking forward to seeing them play in the Premier League this season, both of them, even though Jack Grealish is Villa. So guys, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. That is me, Albert J TV, over and out. Hashtag football topics, hashtag Jack Grealish, Bakayo Saka.